This is Brother Chooch for Outside the Bunker, outside the TOL bunker. This is like a Groundhog Day type of program where I come out of the bunker, do the job I need to do, say what I gotta say, don't beat around the bush, no bias, report the facts, share my opinion, return to the bunker, let the chips fall where they may. We're talking about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. End of story. So I want to say what I mean and mean what I say. It's not safe out here. I got to talk. And I got to talk to you about this window that we're currently in. This is not a big window. And I'm going to share with you why I believe we're in a very small window for a potential rapture in 2024. And then I'm going to share why I believe that we might have to look at 2025 or 2026. And believe me, I don't want that to be the case. But I have to, with TOL Bunker, get right to the point and let you know how I see things. Now, I've been wrong before, and I don't want to be wrong again, for sure. But what I see for a potential 2024 rapture is a small window that is shrinking by the day. Now, I'll explain why I believe that the window for 2024 is about to be slammed shut in about 7 to 10 days. The reason being is this. This is the logic, and I want you to listen to me carefully because I have to get right to it. Passover, we're looking at the Feast of Yahweh now. Passover, Feast of First Fruits, Feast of Weeks. Jesus fulfilled these feasts, and also Feast of Unleavened Bread. Jesus fulfilled these feasts on the day. He died on the cross on Passover. He was in the grave during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. He rose from the grave on the Feast of First Fruits. And then on the Feast of Weeks, the church began when the Holy Spirit formed, took dwelling inside the believers in the upper room. Okay? All those feasts happen on the day. So is it fair for me to say, I believe it is, that Jesus still needs to fulfill Feast of Trumpets, Feast of Atonement, and Feast of Tabernacles in that order? And that he's going to do it on the day. And this is my hypothesis, that Jesus will do it when he comes back at the second coming. I do not believe that the rapture has to happen on a feast day, but I do believe when he returns, he is going to fulfill Feast of Trumpets, Feast of Atonement, and Feast of Tabernacles, and I'm not going to go into the reasonings why that is, but I believe he's going to fulfill it. Boom, boom, boom. I believe that Jesus Christ in the future, in some future Feast of Trumpets, he will appear, physically appear in front of everybody and fulfill the feast and atone for the nation of Israel and tabernacle with his people. He's going to fulfill all those feasts. So, how do I link that about the window closing? Because it's simple math, folks. Listen carefully. I'm giving you the meat right here. If you fast forward 7 years to 2031, the Feast of Trumpets in the year 2031 is September 17th, 2031. If the tribulation period, that is 2,520 days, how did I get to that number? Because 3.5 years is in prophetic years is 1,260. Now, I'm not good at math, but 1,260 plus 1,260 come to 2,520. So if we're going to get into the adding another 30 or 45 days to that, that'll be another discussion. But let's just stick with the 2520. 2,520 days from where we're at right now. Today's October 16th, 2024. That would take us to Wednesday, September 10th, 2031. The Feast of Trumpets in 2031 is 9/17, September 17th, 2031. We are about a week left before we surpass to be able to fit that timeline. Now, folks, this is not talking about the rapture. This is talking about from the tribulation period beginning to the second coming of Jesus Christ. If the second coming of Jesus Christ, and if this date is accurate, September 17th, 2031, as the Feast of Trumpets, that leaves us about a week for the tribulation to begin. Now, having said that, if it is a jubilee year in 2031, that means on the jubilee year, the Feast of Trumpets, I believe, happens the same day as the Feast of Sukkot or the Feast of Tabernacles. That would push it to 10/1/31. October 1st, 2031. The Feast of Tabernacles is a 7-day event. So even though Tabernacles begins right now, I believe, sundown of today, the 16th, it goes for 7 days. It goes till the 20-somethingth. I want to say, let's say, again, 16 to 23rd, 24th. So if that window closes and if 2031 is not a jubilee year, then guess what, folks? We might have to look at, I think it might, or maybe it was pushed to atonement. Amy's saying that it gets pushed to atonement on that year. That I could be getting mixed up, and that might be the case. But it doesn't add too much more to the timeline. Okay? So, whether it be on a Jubilee year, Atonement, or Tabernacles, we still have this issue. Now, let's say that the Lord's going to do something really miraculous within the next 7 days or so. This is from, these are my notes here. This is from Brother T.W. Tram's channel. And I got this off his Facebook. And he has, let's see here. Did you write it down, his website? I keep on getting it mixed up here. I can't find it. I thought I had it written down. Okay, I don't have it written down. I would like to give you a plug, TW, but I don't have it written down. So I guess you could find TW Tram Season of the Rapture, Season of the Return, something like that. All right? He's got 17 points of why Tabernacles may relate to the Rapture. And I'm just going to go over these quick. If you want to get more detail from him, you're going to have to look him up on Facebook or on the web. Season of his return, I think. All right, these are the 17 reasons, really quickly. It's the wheat gathering. Tabernacles, also called the Feast of Ingathering, is when the wheat has been processed, cut, dried, threshed, winnowed, sifted, and grounded, is gathered into barns or granaries. The gathering of the wheat into the barns is a picture of the gathering of believers into the Father's house at the rapture. 2, rejoicing with not psalms, with palm branches, palms. Tabernacles is a time of rejoicing before the Lord with palm branches. In Revelation 7, the newly raptured saints are seen rejoicing before the Lord with palm branches. What's more is said that God will spread his tabernacle over them. Feast of Nations. Tabernacles is called the Feast of Nations. The rapture is when people from every nation, tribe, and people and language stand before God's throne in Revelation chapter 7, verse 9. Moreover, tabernacles will be celebrated by the nations throughout the millennium, Zechariah 14 and verse 16, indicating that it has a special importance as far as Gentiles go. 4. Wedding covenant. Tabernacles is when the law or the wedding covenant is annually read as a reminder. The rapture is when the wedding covenant is consummated with the bride, with the church. Point 5, a 7-day festival. Tabernacles is celebrated for 7 days, corresponding to the 7-day bridal week. The bridal week foreshadows the 7-year wedding celebration in heaven after the rapture. Number 6, the harvest is completed. Tabernacles is when the harvest is complete. The Gentile Ruth married a Jewish redeemer, Boaz, a picture of the rapture when the harvest was completed in Ruth chapter 2. The full moon. Tabernacles begins at the full moon, signifying the fullness of the Gentiles. The full moon is also when the proverbial husband or good man, Jesus, returns. Proverbs 7, if you want to see that, 19 and 20. Summer's ended. Tabernacles is observed after summer when the harvest is past. After the harvest is when the Jews lament not being saved. The harvest is past, the summer has ended, and you are not saved, or we are not saved. Jeremiah 8 and 20. The time of release. This is number 9. Tabernacles is appointed time of release or debt forgiveness. The rapture is the ultimate release from earthly concerns. Point 10. Sukkot. After departing Egypt, the Israelites first camped at the place called Sukkot, the Jewish word for tabernacles. The departure from Egypt is a picture of the rapture. Point number 11. New dwellings. Tabernacles is when the Jews remember how they previously lived in temporary dwellings. The rapture is when believers receive new and permanent dwellings, glorified bodies and mansions in heaven. 12. Limited appearance. In John chapter 7, Jesus attends the Feast of Tabernacles in partial secrecy because his time had not yet fully come, and even his Jewish brothers did not believe in him. This is in verses 5 and 6 of John chapter 7. Similarly, the rapture is a limited appearance at a time of Jewish unbelief. Reason number 13, transfiguration. Jesus' transfiguration after 6 days occurred during the Feast of Tabernacles. The transfiguration after 6 days foreshadows the church's glorification after 6,000 years. Reason number 14, temple dedication. The first temple was dedicated to God at the Feast of Tabernacles. That's 1 Kings 8 and 65. The ultimate temple, the church or body of Christ, will be dedicated at the rapture. Ephesians chapter 2, 20 to 22. Reason 15, the last trump. Since Tabernacle is the last festival of the biblical year, the 7th festival of the 7th month, it is when the last trumpet is sounded, 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. Reason number 17, Tabernacles is the festival with a special 8-day that is observed afterward, Leviticus 33 and 36. The number 8 signifies a putting off of the flesh, a new beginning, and rescue from judgment, Genesis 17 and 12, 1 Peter 3 and 20. Themes that describe the rapture. So in summary, T.W. Tram writes, we have, how is Tabernacles related to the time of the rapture? It's an ingathering. You're rejoicing with palms. There's fullness and completion. There's Gentile celebration. There's transfiguration. There's temple dedication. It's Jesus appearing in part. It's the last trumpet. It's the last day. So that's pretty significant. So brothers and sisters, as I said before and gave my reasoning, the window for the rapture for 2024, it lists what seems to be the likelihood, and we can't put God in a box and say he can't come back in middle of November or he can't come back in December. I can't do that. You can't do that. But for what we can see, what seems to make the most sense in how it all fits together in regards to the festivals, in regards to the day counts, in regards to 2031, the window is getting small for this year. So keep watching, keep praying, keep going about your Father's business. Perhaps we will see the Lord soon. Thank you for tuning in. This is TOL Outside the Bunker. I need to get back inside. God bless.